And entering a new decade as the world's leader in motorsports coverage presents Speed World.
Jabroni. Jabroni.
Jabroni Cup fever, catch it! Woo! Hell yeah!
All right, welcome back to Jabroni Cup Racing. This is Chet McGurk with Tad Lowdermilk up here in the booth. It's going to be a sweaty one tonight. Tad, what do you think?
Yeah.
It's a little hot up here in the box. We're coming to you live from Charlotte Lowe's Motor Speedway tonight, the 10th race of the Jabroni Cup season. And as you can see right there, we've got our qualifiers up on the screen with Daryl Parks and Chris Skeen starting out up front. But look at that, Brian Dricker's out front again with Justin Parks in the second row, Spider Halton and Jacob Parks in the next row, followed by E.J. Lawler, Cam Cockerham, Josh Bennett, and Jason Parks rounding out the top 10. What do you think, Tad?
Yeah, I like that mix.
So we're getting ready to go live here. We're going to check out the field a little bit. It's been quite a season so far, Tad. I didn't get a chance to look at the standings before the race, but hey, it's Monday night. We're just getting it going, Any thoughts on the season so far, bro?
Nah.
Come on, Dad. You gotta give us something to work with here, bro. Just anything. Doesn't even have to do with the race tonight. Just any thoughts? Anything out there?
I just hope that there's a crash.
Well, we could end up seeing one of those tonight. Let's get with our qualifying, our pole position. Daryl Parks on the pole here and get ready to go green flag here in a second. We're going to let it crank up. Race number 10 already. It's been a long season. We've had some delays, but looks like things are going to start getting back to normal, and that's a good looking. That's going to be interesting to see how this starts off. I mean, it's probably guaranteed that inside line's going to shoot out front. It's just going to be who wants to commit, who wants to challenge from the outside and try to shoot the gap and get into that line. Got a feeling Chris Skeen's going to go ahead and start the race with a lot of built-up anger for how his season's going, but we'll just see. He's got teammate Justin Parks right behind him, so that's two Deep Fried Racing drivers right there that could work in tandem here and try to make that outside line work. So we'll see. We're getting ready to go green. We're going to...
There's an average set of laps today. 0 to 80.
30 seconds before we get going with Jabroni Cup Racing. Definitely hot up here in the booth tonight, Tad. Definitely should have made some adjustments beforehand, but sometimes just enjoy the sweaty brotherhood. Some cold brew and good times. So let's maybe we cycle. Oh yeah, I gotta get back on my A game here. Daryl Parks, Chris Skeen, Justin Parks, Brian Driggers, Luke Halton, Jacob Parks, E.J. Lawler, Cam Cockerham.
Start your engines!
Toby Stevenson gets us started. There's Jason Parks, Stinky Bennett, Cole Parks, Chris Everett, Drew Parks, Luke Parks. I think we just skipped Pete Cool as we get going. Miles Parks, Dane Parks. Oh, we're already, good gosh, looks like they're already firing it up. No, I was going to say, some of those guys were taking off a little bit early, it looked like, but, Jabroni Cup Racing, it's going to be exciting even when it's, yellow flag or just starting up. Sometimes these guys live by their own rules. Although it looks like the pace car is going to get ready to squirt off the track. We'll get going green here in just a second, folks. There we go. Let's see what crappens. Daryl Parks leading that inside line. Going out a little bit ahead. We're going to stay right here with this view so we can try to check out the action throughout the field without losing too much. We go TV cam. Yep, that outside line. Dropping back, and look at that. Daryl Parks shifts to the outside. Will that pay off for him? Usually it doesn't, but he craftily moves back down with Brian Jurgens behind him. Although here comes the in-and-out car with Spider McGee in the cockpit, ready to party. And oh, we've got some people shuffling back there in the field. We might have to take a second and check that out, Tad. What do you think?
Maybe.
Getting a little spicy. It looked like we got 3 to 4 wide back there for a second. Brian Jurgens going way outside, up in the marbles. He's going to end up in the wall at that rate. We're going to stay right here, though, and see if Luke Halton's got what it takes to get around Daryl Parks in the Catawba for Thunderbird. He's getting right on his finger. Can he make the pass? Look at is that Cole Parks back there shooting up through the field? Yeah, he has really used the draft to his advantage to work his way up to the second row. Look at that. Well played, Cole Parks. Daryl Parks just suddenly slows down, checks up. What is going on with that Thunderbird? Luke Halton is now our race leader here. Oh, we've got action in the back of the pack.
Look at that smoke.
See Dane. Oh, Logan Parks into Jacob Parks. We saw that contact. We don't know what happened. Look at this Ardos card. That's going to have an effect on the point standings for sure. We're going to have to go back and see what happened. Just saw the smoke, Tad. Where there's smoke, there's fire, they say. And there's probably some fire back here. What do you think?
Yeah.
Let's just see what happened. Ooh, teammates into each other. Looks like Chris Everett and Wes Allen were bumping, and teammates Chris Everett and Jacob Parks ended up with some serious contact.
It looks like whenever you bump into someone and then it knocks you the other way. It looks like that's what happened there.
Yep, the old chain reaction. We're going to watch it real live speed first. Everett, no, Parks came down on Everett. A little bit of a bump. Oh, there's the big one. And oh, Parks into Everett. Dane Parks spun out. Look at that. Main Street Oldsmobile smoking. I was going to say, it doesn't look like it took too much damage, but that amount of smoke is never good. Let's go back and maybe look from let's see who's got a good view of what happened in front of them and go for some let's take a look at Dane Parks. We'll go on board with Dane Parks here before we try to catch back up to live action. Look at that. This is going to be a great view, Tad.
Yep.
We're going to get a great view right here on the dashboard with Dane Parks. Oh, Wes Allen way up into Chris Everett. And that's two McCorkle's teammates in some big trouble tonight. We're going to see some points. Oh, look at Brogy. Oh, Brogy getting bumped. We're going to see some shifting around in the point standings. We haven't tabulated them here in a while, but we'll have to get back to that after this race. So that's some serious contact. That could be it for both Jacob Parks and Chris Everett for the night. Early exit. Could be. We don't know yet. But the smoke coming out of Chris Everett's car looks like it's done for. Look at there. Ah! There's old David Baird. So let's get back, call back up to our leader. We're not having our race info or race leaders showing up on the Statron 6000, powered exclusively by Commodore 64. So let's see these guys coming back around through the smoke. We might have to take a pause for a second and try to do a little refresh on that because we depend on those stats too up here in the booth. Matter of fact, let's go ahead. We're going to pause here for just a second, folks. Come right back. We're staying live. I guess there's no way to do it. Let's see how the sausage is made sometimes. Everything where it needs to be. I guess something happened. Let's see. There's that. And there we go. Now we're going to be back in business. So, let's get caught back up to live action. What do you say there, Tad? Gonna see some guys pitting already. Having some technical difficulties with our stats display, but it looks like we've got it solved. Tad, we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna power through to catch back up to live, so that we can try to keep our stats in sync here. Ooh, almost some contact. There was some contact coming off a pit row. It looked like there briefly. Let's cycle back up with Chris Skeen out in front of the pack right now, still under caution. We are catching back up to live action, so I'm kind of surprised to see a crash that soon, Tad, you know? Yeah. Seems like these super speedways, these guys keep it together a little bit better, but not tonight, folks. It's a special Monday night edition of Jabroni Cup Racing. But yep, we've got our stats on the screen now, so that's good. Pete Cool with the fastest lap, surprisingly. How about that, sports fans? I doubt that's going to stand once we get the single file draft set back up. There we go. Oops. Oh, there's baby Uke. That's a great view right there. So right now we've got Chris Skeen first, Luke Parks right behind him, and Rusty Hughes right behind him. That's our top three, folks. We are only 7 laps in. 7 laps out of 80. So, pretty long race. Not mistaken, longest race of the year there, Tad. Longest distance, so. We'll see how long Chris Skeen can hold on to that lead position. Known to be a little bit skittish out there, especially when he's up front. We're going to get ready to go live. Get ready to go green. Look at that. That is some real creamy looking Jabroni Cup racing right there. All those cars stacked up. It's a lot of goodness. Oh, Darrell Parks diving down to the inside. Trying to assert his dominance on the field. Let's get back to some chase cams so we can see who's bugging out back there in the lines. Chris Skeen trying to hold on. Let's see if these guys can break into a second line here. Yep, forming up on the outside without Chris Skeen. Look at that. Look at that run by Luke Parks. Getting close. Bad News Hughes on the inside of the Silver Bullet. He is just storming up there. Can he maintain the momentum? Looks like he's going to if Jason Parks can give him a push with that inside line. They are just, that's a locomotive of cars down there, Tad. Rusty Hughes makes the controversial move to jump to the outside, and just like that, boom, he is out of the lead position. Boy, that Thunderbird just lost all of its speed, all of its pace when it moved to the outside, and Jason Parks follows suit. Darrell Parks staying on the inside, taking advantage of these guys just getting out of the way. Really wonder if there's some under the table deals going on out there. So Darrell Parks in first with Pete Cool right behind him, and Justin Parks moving up through the field. Gonna be interesting to see now. We are on lap 10 out of 80, so still in the early stages of this race, folks. Tad, what do you think? Think Mayonnaise Man's got some juice back there?
Yeah.
Think he's got some speed? Watch Pete Cool as he drifts off into the marbles. He's going to slow right back down if he stays outside like that. Just like that. Darrell Parks up front, but Justin and Jason Parks challenging. Well, they were working together, but I feel like Duke's Mayonnaise Mobile's checked up for a second there. It's pretty much all gas, no brakes here in Charlotte. Oops. Just like that. I was going to say Justin Parks, yep, takes the lead. Darrell Parks gets a little bit loose and loses a lot of speed. Leaves Justin Parks all alone up front in the Duke's Mayonnaise Let's Get Creamy 69 Ford Thunderbird. We're going to stay right here, folks. This is a great view where we can see the pack and the leader at the same time. I really like this view, Tad. How about you?
Yeah.
It's pretty informative. Entertaining, if you will. So we're under the lights here at Charlotte, folks. Lap 13 of 80. Justin Parks up front, Darrell Parks in second, Jason Parks in third, keeping it in the family. But that's two Hawk Racing teammates. Can they maintain? Nope. I just was looking at the stats. Jason Parks has dropped way back. Chris Skeen coming back up to the front. Trying to anyways. Let's see if he can make a run, but I'm impressed right now with Justin Parks' speed for not having anybody behind him, but that the pack is catching up with him. We are watching this gap close in real time. And as soon as I say that, let's see. Let's see, Tad. He's still out there. Got about a third or a 0.3 second lead. Can he maintain? We're going to keep an eye on those splits. I gotta say, I'm impressed. He's got some speed tonight, Tad. Do you think he's going to be able to hold on?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, it's way too early to tell, isn't it, bud? I tell you, I like this track though, and I like racing under the lights. You know, there's something special about it, eh, Tad?
Yep.
You might take a check through the back of the pack, because right now Justin Parks is maintaining that lead. Although we've got some stats issues again. I don't know what's going on with the stat box 6000. We should be called up to live action here. We might have to. No, let's say we are. I think we may have jinxed it a little bit earlier. But right now, Justin Parks out in front. Chris Skeen, his teammate and friend, right behind him. Going to be interesting to see how much he pushes. Okay, it's cycled back through. So lap 17 out of 80. They're just ticking them off now. Smooth sailing. Although we're going to watch this teammate on teammate battle for the lead. This could be entertaining, Tad. What do you think? Oh, Chris Skeen dives down. Gets right around the Duke's Mayonnaise Thunderbird. Going in car with Justin Parks. And that 76 Sir Pizza Chevy Lumina just took the wind right off of him. And man, he is gone. Like a thief in the night, Tad. Like a thief in the night. Just like that. Look at there. Chris Skeen pulling away. Really interesting to see who gets up front, who can maintain their speed. Tad, who should we check in on now?
Logan Parks.
I'm going to check in on Logan Parks. All right, we're going to get back to our front chase cam. We're going to cycle back. There's Justin Parks back. Still holding the second. Jason Parks third. Daryl Parks in fourth. Rusty Hughes fifth. Miles Parks getting taken to school by Cole Parks, his brother. Little brother strikes back. There's Luke Parks hanging out back there in ninth place. Followed by Brown on 11th, who's had an incredible run so far this season. With fellow teammate E.J. Lawler giving him a good push through the field, but those guys are going to decide to battle instead of working together. E.J. Lawler in 11th. Pete Cool 12th. David Baird in 9th, but he must have just given up a couple of spots. Brian Driggers 13th. Old Mitch in 14th. With Luke Halton right behind him, and Stinky Bennett right on Luke Halton's butt cheeks. You can smell the draft right off the cheeks, can you, Tad?
Yep.
Probably pretty smelly, especially if he's been eating those smashed parking lot burgers. Old Coach Cans in 17th, hanging out. JD behind him in 18th. Drew Parks 19th. And there's old Brogy in 20th, and that might be the end of the field. Nope, Dane Parks is still out there in 21st. West in 22nd, and that'll do it. It was a short day for Jacob Parks and Chris Everett, two McCorkle's racers that were involved in that crash earlier. Meanwhile, Justin Parks back up front again. Just a fast car today, but can he maintain the lead position? Keeping an eye on those splits. Looks like our stats are kind of a little behind. There we go. Back again to about a third of a second. Daryl Parks behind him, though. Chris Skeen, Jason Parks, Rusty Hughes and Cole Parks making their way back up to the front. We're going to stick with Cole here for a second. Maybe we change our view. Look at that in car. We're going to stick with this for a second. Nice view. See if he can get around the silver bullet, and we can see the leaders up there. Justin Parks still with a nice gap. Good separation up there up front. We're on lap 24 out of 80 here, Tad, so we're working our way through. Any thoughts so far overall about how things are going?
I like it.
Yep, I'm really enjoying this in-car cam. Just watching the battle. Cole Parks. Bad news, Hughes. Cole is getting right there. Can he get around him? Can he get a good run? It looks like he's just about got him going into the corner. But can he pull out? Can he get a good run coming out of that corner? Nope. Just like that, Rusty Hughes steps on that throttle. And that Coors Light Silver Bullet takes off. So this is a great view as we can see our top, our top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in front of them. Looks like Justin Parks just keeping that gap up there. Maintaining separation, Tad. That's the name of the game tonight. This is a great battle. You hear Cole get off the throttle, but he's getting right around. A little bit of Colbert. Getting right around Bad News Hughes. We're going in car with Rusty Hughes. And there goes Cole Parks, storming his way up. We're going to get back on board with Cole as he's moving through the field. Look at those guys battling up there. Darrell Parks, Jason Parks, Chris Skeen. Looking like a dogfight up here for second, third, and fourth. That's just allowing Cole Parks to catch up, Tad. He's going to take advantage of those guys fighting him. They could be working together in a draft, but instead they're just all over the place. What do you think, Tad?
Yeah, if I were them, I would rather work together.
Yep, we'll see how it pans out. As we can see, look at here, Cole is catching right up. Let's see if he picks a driver. He's tucking in behind Skeen. Jason Parks, a little wobbly out there on the outside, and that cost him a position. Cole Parks just moving up through the field like a madman. He's moving and shaking, Dad. Haven't seen this out of him that much this year, so we're going to stay right here on board with him and see if he can make his way up to the front. Justin Parks has got about almost a half-second lead on Darrell Parks right now, at least on the last lap as we wait for our stats to cycle back through. But we're on lap 29 out of 80, so, we had that first wreck, but it's been clean racing since then. Oh, I was going to say problem, but nope, he's pitting. So Chris Skeen going ahead down to the pits. This happens, let's get back around to our race leader here, Justin Parks, and keep an eye on him as now people are starting to hit the pits. There we go. Because, we might have that first group, but I'm really curious to see what he does and these other guys that have stayed out, what happens with their pit stops. So we're going to stay with the race leader as guys start to cycle through pit road. A really impressive race right now for the Duke's Mayonnaise Thunderbird, Tad, don't you think?
Yep.
He's been able to maintain. When you get up there, it's all about clarity of thought, Tad. That's what I'm going to say, clarity of thought. Staying on that inside line and not drifting to the outside. That's what it's all about, Tad. He's staying out again, so this is an interesting pit strategy. It looks like, who's that? Is that Cole Parks back there who's also stayed out? And Jason Parks, let's verify that. Yep, well, we've got it right there on the stats. These guys are staying out there. Will it hurt them or help them in the long run? If we're on lap 30, then this is going to be looks like we're going to see 2 pit stops tonight for everybody. Justin Parks, our race leader, now deciding to hit the pits. Looks like Cole Parks was staying out, though, so we're going to stay right here. Maybe change up. There we go. Oh, look at that. What a great shot. Just going to stay right here with race leader and see what happens as we get people cycling through pit lanes. Oh, just like that. TV camera changes. Long look down pit lane. Look at that. Just an empty pit lane. Let's, let me check and see who's... Yep, Chris Everett, Jacob Parks. Only 2 drivers out. 2 McGurk's Motorsports drivers, although we've got right now Wes Allen 2 laps down, Luke Parks 1 lap down, Chris Skeen 1 lap down, Rusty Hughes, and I lost track. But let's see what happens. So right now, look at that. New race leader, Jason Browneye. E.J. Lawler and David Baird. How many times have we said David Baird in the top 3 this year, Tad? I don't think any ever. But nope, here they come down pit lane. Well, everyone, but I haven't seen David Baird on pit lane. Something tells me he could stay out there and really push the limits on his fuel situation just to lead some laps. We're gonna come back around and see. Yep, David Baird, the race leader for the moment, but now he's coming in. I was really curious to see how long he'd try to stay out there. He's had a he's kind of had a down season, but you know, rookie, new team, can't expect to dominate or even, sometimes to even be competitive when you're just getting started. So let's see who comes around and will be our new race leader once our stats cycle through. Lap 35 of 80, so getting close to that halfway point. Almost to the point where you wonder if some of those guys that just came in might try to roll the dice and stay out. That could be something to watch, Tad. Who's going to gamble? Try to save some gas till the end and stay out. Could be very interesting. I wish our stats would update. They are very slow to update. Just going to watch old Audi pull back out. He's known to be quite aggressive, so don't want to be anywhere near him when he's getting back out on the track, honestly. There we go. So we're going to catch back up with Chris Skeen, who is now in the lead. So Chris Skeen, Rusty Hughes, and Justin Parks. Justin Parks going from first to third, so still right up there in the front. Not quite leading the race, but within striking distance. Can he go ahead and close that gap and retake the lead is the question at hand. Going to be interesting to see if Rusty Hughes battles it out with Chris Skeen, or the two Archdale Trinity-based drivers decide to work together. What do you think, Tad? You're fading on me over there, bro. It's late night, I understand. No problems. I'm going to cruise this one into the end. Look at that battle. Ford versus Chevy. Does it ever get old, Tad? Not in my books. Not in my books. Just, you feel it down in your bones, that rivalry, don't you? So Rusty Hughes going to challenge on the end. Challenge is the wrong word. Just blow by on the inside. As Chris Skeen drifts to the outside and lets Rusty get right around, Justin Parks now has closed that gap. That has just been one fast car today. Something tells me he's got what it takes to finish this one out, Tad. Gotta give me something over there, bro. Gotta give me something, Tad. What's going on? What's going on, Tad? Anything? Who should we check in on? Well, let's ride here for a second. Rusty Hughes, our race leader. I'm not sure that he is... we don't have our season stats in front of us, but this could be some of the first laps he's ever led. As a rookie this year. Pretty impressive, Tad. That's a really, really classy Thunderbird. Total class. Class act. Looking real special under the lights. Real shiny. Look at that. That's a good looking car. That's one of my favorites, Tad, It really is. Coors Light, Silver Bullet, Smoke Pit, Ford Thunderbird, Rusty Bad News Hughes leading laps here, scoring some points. Yeah, sometimes that's just money in the bank, Tad, Money in the bank. But as soon as I say that, Justin Parks diving down the inside. We're going to stay right here with the top three. I feel like we're going to have some really good battles here the next segment of the race, as we're just barely over halfway, Tad. Hope you packed yourself a late night snack, because this is the Coca-Cola 600. A lot of miles out there yet to be driven. But this front pack has just got quite a gap between them and the rest of the field. Got some razor thin margins up front, but Justin Parks slowly reeling in Rusty Hughes. Now these guys are teammates, So right now that crew chief's got to be in their ear telling them, hey, we got to work together out there, guys. Some tells me there's some bargaining going on right now and some promises for Archdale Soda Shop being made over the radio to say, hey, let's just work together and milk it here for, as long as we can, and we can battle later. What do you think, Tad?
Yeah.
You think there's some talk of peanut butter milkshakes and chuck wagon sandwiches going on right now?
Yeah.
Yep. I certainly think so. Chris Skeen, though, not going away. He's hanging tough back there in third. This is going to be a really neat pack to keep an eye on here. Two veterans and a rookie, and just like that, Rusty Hughes makes the fatal flaw of drifting to the outside, and that's all it takes to give that little bit of a window and let everybody get around on the inside. So Justin Parks retakes the lead, but Chris Skeen right there knocking on the door. Knocking on Charlotte's door, Tad. I was going to say think he's got it, but nope, he does. So right now, just these three guys shuffling around. I'm really curious to see if this is going to allow that second group of 5 cars back there to catch up. Let's check in with those guys, Tad. What do you say? So we got Daryl Parks, who's had a pretty good day. Kind of fell off from the front, but is making his way back up. Cole Parks, back up. He had quite a good run earlier where he blazed through the pack, but that was right before the pit stop started, and they kind of got shuffled back a little bit. Pete Cool quietly in 6th place. Going to try to help out McCorkles after losing. They've lost 2 drivers so far today. Luke Parks in 7th. Jason Parks right behind him in 8th. And Brian Trigger's 9th. Miles Parks 11th. Well, 10th now, I'm sure. EJ Lawler now 11th. Old Mitch in 12th. Brown now right behind him. David Baird in 14th. Tad, how about that? I haven't seen him maintain speed or position that much this year, but, I'm impressed. What about you, Tad? You impressed? Yeah, he's, like I said, he's probably the most aggressive driver out there. Just maybe not the best skill or equipment, but always one to keep an eye on. And then looks like he's going to get around Brown Eye. Yep. Wow. That's pretty impressive. That wasn't even, he just took it. He just took it, Tad. Took it right from him. So who will be his next target? Looks like old Mitch. I'm going to stay here for a second, see if he closes that gap. Maybe move on to the back and see what else is going on back there. Old Spider's back there with old Coach Cam. That's quite a combo. Old Spider and Cam. Maybe some rivalry going on there. Maybe some arguing over whether clock has started or not. But I think it has, Tad. I think the definitive answer is the clock has started. We'll move back. There's old JD in 17th. Drew Parks, kind of having a quiet day, running 18th. Still great looking riding that Marshmallow Fruity Pebbles Thunderbird. Stinky B back there in 19th. Hashtag good stank. Logan Parks not having the day he really wanted. Running in 20th right now. Did get some damage in that wreck to start the race. Probably obviously affecting his performance today. Same for Dane Parks, running 21st. And looks like some lap traffic starting to cause some issues here as old Wes in the roadblocks. Oldsmobile holding up the pack a little bit, but they're getting right around. Justin Parks retaking the lead, but Rusty Hughes and Chris Skeen still right there. The Three Stooges, Tad. What do you think?
Yep.
Larry Moe and Curly. Bad news, Hughes right back down on the inside, and he's got it, folks. Three Musketeers. That's a nice view of the action. I'm going to stay right here and watch. We get a nice little up close, but still high enough to see what's going on. As the two deep-fried teammates battle out a little bit, but Chris Skeen just puts on the afterburners. Boy, you might want to check his car. He might be having some nitrous in there, Tad. What do you think?
Yeah.
Just like that. Rusty Hughes back up high and losing spots. But at least it's going to be interesting. These guys are going to have to battle through the lap traffic. It's going to be crucial to see if that slows them down and lets anybody else get in on this top 3 battle. But I don't know. We're just going to be, if it's just one car at a time that they're coming up on, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, Tad. What do you think?
Yeah.
Because, it's really going to be who can finish the race first and get to that corn dog buffet on the infield. So what did you? They had the suggestion box before the race tonight, asking what condiments would you like to have on the corn dog buffet. What did you write? What did you vote for, Tad? What kind of dips or sauces did you ask for the corn dog? The annual Charlotte Motor Speedway corn dog buffet at the finish of the race, where everybody gets to make all the corn dogs with all the flavors and toppings they want. What did you put in that box, Tad? What did you vote for?
Definitely ketchup.
Ketchup? Solid. I'm a mustard man myself.
And mustard too.
But yeah, I tell you what, I saw some disturbing entries for chocolate syrup and whipped cream, and I don't know where that came from. If someone's just trying to josh us or what, but I don't appreciate it.
That is disgusting.
The Jabroni Cup corn dogs are sacred and should never be taken lightly. You gotta respect them. And just like that, we're going through some lap traffic, but look at Christine down in front.
It's already lap 58 of 80.
It is. In the marathon. But look at that. Cole Parks has caught back up. Rusty Hughes has dropped to 4th. Dane Parks just hanging in. Lap traffic, trying to stay on that lead lap, but I don't think that hungry man, Salisbury Steak Stroh's Thunderbirds, got what it takes to hang up. And Chris Keene diving down, getting into the pits. That's probably not a bad thing to go ahead and pit early, Dad. That would always be my suggestion. If I was in the pits right now, I'd want my driver to get in there and get it over with and get back out. So we're going to stay right here with Justin Parks and Rusty Hughes up front and see what happens. Rusty Hughes sound like he's going to hit the pits too, slowing down. Teammate Justin Parks staying out though. Let's get back around to him. See how long he decides to stay out. Or no, we've got Cole Parks in the lead. Cole Parks, look at that. That's Star Wars Thunderbird. New livery for the season. So we're on lap 60 to 80. The other pits took place in between lap 35, 38. So, there's a window here where you can stay out and try to put some distance between you and the guys who are already pitting. But I'm the type that likes to pit early. That's just me, Tad. What about you?
Yeah, I would do that too.
But we're going to see if it pays off. Cole Parks in first. Justin Parks in second. Pete Cool sneaking into 3rd place with all the guys pitting early. Let's see what happens. Surprisingly quiet race so far. After that wreck at the beginning, things have settled down. We've just seen some fast laps right now. Fastest by Justin Parks, but Cole Parks staying out. I'm going to think he's probably going to end up pitting here in a lap or so. But you never know. Yeah, right now they might be trying to get some laps led under their belt. Get some more points, some cash in the bank. Nope, sounds like he's coming in too. We're going to stay with him.
Looks like he just lost a few positions.
Line of cars coming down the pits. Oh, so we're on lap 63. Monday Madness here at Jabroni Cup Racing.
You know what? I think that's a good name for this, like Monday Madness, like the name of the race. If we ever do it on Mondays, we should call it Monday Madness.
Stinky B. Hashtag good stank. That Irish Spring Speed Stick. Quite an interesting look he's got going on there. The bar of soap. Gotta say I like it. So let's go back around and just see who is our race leader as everyone shuffles in and out of the bits. It's hard to tell right now. Oh, David Baird got some run in the lead, but again, he's got a pit. If I'm his crew chief, I'm saying stay out, just because your car. But you know what? I would say that, but he's had a pretty good run today. As we checked in on him, he stayed around the middle of the pack. So then again, you don't want to ruin what you've got going here. You got to take your moral victories where you get them. If he finishes, anywhere in the top half of the field, that's quite a day. So I was getting ready to say I'd tell him to stay out as long as you can until you start to run out of gas. But if you're putting in a good performance, why throw it away? Let's work our way back around here. AJ Lawler is in second, but we're waiting for our stats to catch back up. Wonder if he has pit yet or not. This last pit stop is really going to be what decides the final race order, as we're on lap 65. There's not going to be a whole lot of time if you're too far back. So I think we'll have to check in and see what happened with, those three cars that have been so dominant for so long. It was Justin Parks, Rusty Hughes, and Chris Skeen that stayed out front for, probably seemed like at least half the race so far. Yep. According to our stats, cycling through here, we've got Rusty Hughes up front with Chris Skeen right behind him in second. So pit strategy paying off. Justin Parks back in third, but with quite a gap. He's going to have to really push that Thunderbird to catch back up. Right now he's showing that he is almost 3 seconds behind. Boy, that's going to be a big margin to have to make up, Tad. Really big. Don't know if he's going to be able to do it, but he's had a fast car all day. So if there's anyone that could, it certainly could be him. Let's check in on the pack and see where he is. Got some clean air around him, but a long ways to go. Oh, look at that. Yep. There's our leaders, and he is quite a bit back. But he's got 12 laps. Can he do it? Let's keep an eye on the splits. He's 2.9 seconds behind Tad. In the meantime, we're going to catch back up here up front. We might leave it zoomed out a little bit. Watching Skeen go by. So we're going to keep an eye. It's 294 right now, Tad. When they come back around, let's see if he's made any progress. As we wait. All together. Tad's falling asleep, folks. 288. So making up some ground, but it's gonna have to be more than that if he wants to get back in this thing. And one of our box of stewards come in briefly. So Tad, what do you think right now? These guys could just be riding the gravy train to finish this off. Our 1 and 2 are way out ahead of the rest of the field. Chris Skeen, Rusty Hughes. The battle for the soda shop. What do you think these guys, what do you think is their favorite item at the soda shop, Tad? Rusty Hughes, our race leader, what do you think he orders when he goes to the soda shop?
Big fat juicy burger.
A juicy burger. What about Chris Skeen back there in second place? What do you think his order is when he goes to the Archdale Soda Shop?
Pizza.
They don't have pizza, Tad. Come on. They got burgers, they got hot dogs, they got corn dogs, they got chuck wagons and stuff like that. What do you think? What do you think, Tad?
Corn.
Corn dogs. I could see a chuck wagon in his future, but maybe a chuck wagon with a corn dog stuck in there too in the sandwich. You've got the chuck wagon on top of the patty. You've got the corn dog and the bun on top. Maybe you could fit 2 corn dogs side by side on top of the chuck wagon patty, Dad. Maybe they could call that the Skeen sandwich. Chuck wagon and double corn dogs. Maybe they take the sticks out for that one. But because you fit them, you cram them in there in the bun, you got them laying side by side, and they even out, Hey, that's what he's right now. He could be talking about that with his teammate. That could be a new sponsor, a new sandwich idea. You know, we're printing money up here, Tad. We're printing money up here in the booth for these guys. You don't even realize it. We're on lap 74, folks. Justin Parks still 2.2 seconds. That's just not going to get him back up there. He's got to be hoping for a caution would be his best bet. Caution or at least some bumping and grinding, but right now just looking too clean up here. Right now it's just going to be, can Rusty Hughes maintain this lead for 5 more laps? He could have it, Tad. He could have it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he
Looking real good right now. Let's take a quick look back before we come back up here. Oh, Cole Park's in third. I didn't realize that. Right now, I'll tell you what, if these guys need to make a handshake deal to just form a line and push to get up there to the front. And, oh, look at that. Cole Park's 1.9 seconds. That lead is getting smaller, but can it shrink enough? We'll see. Almost finished here, folks. Right now, look at that. They're gonna battle it out and call. They're not. That's gonna kill any chance they've got of getting back up front. We're almost here to the end. Let's check in on our leaders real quick. Rusty Hughes starting to pull away a little bit more. Lap 77. I think he's got it, folks. Really, it's going to be, can Cole Parks fend off Justin Parks for third place? Great finish for Cole Parks today. Got a fast car, Tad. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the best he's finished this whole season.
Possibly so. Last season, if I remember correctly, he had the most top 5s of any driver in the Jabroni Cup. Just so close. Just couldn't quite get over the hump to get a win, but always right there at the top of the pack. Well, on lap 78, we are almost to the finish tonight here in Charlotte. Been a pretty good race. One wreck at the beginning, and after that, it's just been guys out there pedal to the metal. I was going to say Logan Parks, but he's still in 20th. Just trying to hang on. Brian Trigger 7th. Let's get back around for our leaders here as we finish up. Rusty Hughes just driving away with it. Chris Skeen gonna have second. White flag. We're gonna keep an eye. Stay right here with Cole Parks. See if he can fend off Justin Parks for third. Going way too high. Oh, but he's still got enough speed. One more turn. The Star Wars Thunderbird staying low enough. He held on to it. Oh, look at there. Oh, he held on. Held on for third. Third place. Good finish for Cole Parks.
One of my favorite drivers.
So that was, pretty solid race there, Ted. Got a little crazy to begin with.
Monday Night Madness.
Yep. So let's check in on our stats here as we come back around. Rusty Hughes with the win. That's another rookie. We've had quite a few rookies win some races this season. Impressive. Chris Skeen in second. Cole Parks in third. Yep, those were the two McGurk drivers that were gone right at the beginning. But Pete Cool in fifth. That's quite a good finish. So let's go ahead and finish this out. Take a look there at the Rusty Hughes, the Coors Light Silver Bullet Smoke Pit Ford Thunderbird. Looking sharp in victory lane. Now we can see the point standings down there at the bottom of the screen. Jacob Parks still in first place, only by 14 points, with Jason Brown right behind him. And look at that, Jason Parks moved up to third. Justin Parks in fourth, Cole Parks in fifth, and these guys are just stacked right on top of each other in the standings. Old Spider moving back up into sixth. Miles Parks seventh, Chris Skeen eighth. Pete Cool has cracked the top 10, now ninth in the point standings. Logan Parks in 10th, so it was quite a good race, Tad. What do you think?
Yeah.
So that's going to finish it off for Monday Night Madness. That was a long one. Long, grueling race, Tad. Up in a hot, sweaty booth. But we're going to finish it off. Any last thoughts for the people out there, Tad?
Please, next race be good.
All
Like
right.
this one.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll be signing off, folks. So stay safe. Eat your corn dogs. And keep it real. We will check you later.